Good morning, everybody. Did you have a nice weekend? So, here we are today for the last video of Unit 7. We already did 7A and we did 7B, and this is the last video. We're going to start with a vocabulary exercise which corresponds to 7C. The only thing is that we don't do 7C, just basically because we have to choose what we do. We don't have time to do everything. But what I've done is I've picked out basic vocabulary, important vocabulary for 7C, which I think is interesting for us, and I'm giving it to you in the form of a multiple choice exercise. As you can see, also I've learned some video editing, and now I'm able to show you not only my beautiful face, but also the book or whatever I want to be showing you, just like I did in class on the projector. I'm not using the projector anymore because the light was very bad. This is much better. So anyway, the first question for you is about a glacier, as you can see. A glacier, in Spanish, this is un glacial. And if you ask people what is a glacier or un glaciar, everybody thinks that they know this word. But anyway, let's have a look at some multiple answers here. Is it A? Is it a frozen mountain? Or B? Is it an iceberg floating in the ocean? Or is it C, like a river of ice? What is it? Now what you need to do, and this is very important, and I tell you always, you need to take your pen and write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, because there are 9 questions, and every time I ask you the question, you write your answer there, okay? Don't give me this, it's here. No, it doesn't. This is very bad. No proper learning, okay? So let's go for the second question. What do you call, and notice the question word, what, not how, what do you call, ¿cómo se llama? A special port where you can moor your yacht. Your yacht is where you can moor, this is where you can park, as you can see, your yacht. Is it A, a marina, B, a sports port, or C, a yacht harbor? So which one of the three? Let's continue. Number 3. What is a holiday maker? Is it someone who A, is on holiday, someone who organizes holidays, or somebody who sells holidays? 4. When you meet somebody for the first time, what do you do? What should you do? ¿Qué deberías hacer? You should give them your hand. You should maybe introduce yourself or present yourself. Think about it. What is the usual way to say this in English? Okay, in Spanish it's obviously presentarte, but what is it in English? Okay, or maybe give them your hand. Okay. 5. Many people enjoy. What do they enjoy doing? They enjoy picking mushrooms in autumn, or picking up mushrooms, or taking mushrooms. They typically go up into the mountains, they go to the forest, and this is what they do. 6. This is archery. This is a sport. What do you use in archery? Notice that the word is similar to the word in Spanish. you use an arch and an arrow. You need a bow and an arrow, or a bow and a shot. Which one? A, B, or C? 7. There are no public buses. There are no public buses, sir, but we can arrange transport to the town if you want, or hire transport, or is it C, rent transport to the town? Arrange, hire, or rent. 8. What is an unspoiled beach? Is it one that has a blue flag, una bandera azul, that has good restaurants, or one that has not been built up, que no ha sido construido? And we go for the last one, 9. I know it's difficult, but you must what? Is it do an effort, B, make an effort, or C, realize an effort? Okay? So, I suppose you've already answered all these questions now. It is important that you write your answer even if you have no idea. You guess, okay? When we do a test, you do this as well. All right? So let's go to number 1. Back to number 1. A glacier is like a river of ice, okay? It's a river that flows down from the mountains, and it flows, fluye, very slowly, all right? But this is what it is. It's not an iceberg, and it's not obviously a frozen mountain, una montaña congelada. 2. Correct answer? Well, if you think about it, C, yacht harbor, this is una bahía para yates, or de yates. Okay. B, a sports port, un puerto deportivo, yes. But the thing is, how do you say it in English? The answer is A, it's a marina. Okay, a marina, which is, it sounds very Latin, very Spanish, very Italian. That's what it is, a marina, a special port for yachts, for your private yacht. C, a holiday maker. Okay, when you look at this word, you think, somebody who makes holidays for people. No, the correct answer is A, 3A. It's someone on holiday. A holiday maker is somebody who is on holiday, all right? If you, of course, someone organizing holidays or selling holidays, that would be, as you already know, that would be a travel agent, wouldn't it? Okay, 4. Correct answer, it's not give them your hand, because in English this means nothing at all. Give them your hand, come on. You shake hands with people if you want, but not give them your hand. You give them I don't know, give them a euro if they need it, or give them a book, but don't give them your hand. You keep it for yourself. So what is it, B or C? The correct answer is B. In English, you introduce yourself. I would like to introduce myself. My name is whatever, Antonio Gutierrez. All right, 5. What do you do to mushrooms in autumn? You pick them. Correct answer is picking mushrooms, A, okay? Picking up also exists, but it's something else. When you drop something, cuando se te cae algo, for example, you drop your knife, you pick it up, okay? But you pick flowers and you pick mushrooms. Taking, that's diverse, okay? So, 6, archery. Archery sounds like arco, no? In Spanish? Well, the word is Latin actually. The correct answer, what you need though is not a arch and arrow. Arch in English exists, but it's in architecture. It's this shape, okay? So what you need is a bow and an arrow. It's B. Arco y flecha, all right? Sí, bow and shot? No, that's arco y un disparo, no. Okay. So 7. What can you do if there is no transport, no public transport? You can hire transport, alquilar transporte, rent transport. They are the same thing, so both equally bad. You can arrange transport. Arrange in English, it means organize. Okay, so that's the word we need here. Organize transport, arrange transport. You can arrange for things to happen. You make a phone call, whatever. Okay, number 8. What is an unspoiled beach? By the way, unspoiled can be spelled with not ed at the end, but a t, unspoiled. Okay, so instead of ed, t. An unspoiled beach is literally una playa no estropeada. And when we think of unspoiled, we're thinking of no estropeada by buildings, by big hotels, etc., like most of our beaches. An unspoiled beach is a beach like Illetes that has been left as it is, a beach without any constructions, or perhaps very small things, very small houses, etc. Okay, so not a blue flag, not good restaurant. Okay, number 9, the last one. It's difficult, but you must. And here we come to the problem of do and make. In English, it's not easy to know which one to use. Okay, and you have to learn. In general, you make things. It means you construct them, you build them, but sometimes it's not so obvious. Okay, so is it do an effort, make an effort? Realize you can forget, because in Spanish you could think, okay, realizar un esfuerzo. Yes, but it's not. Hacer un esfuerzo. And the correct answer is B. You make an effort. Okay, make an effort. Okay, so this will be an exercise in the study guide, and if you want to have 100% correct answers, you watch this video. We will now get on to 70, okay, where I will ask you to open your book. Okay. Okay, so we're now dealing with Unit 7D, which is about nature tourism and nature tours and adventure tourism. Okay, I have my book here. Yes, you have yours, and I have put it on the screen also for the first part of 7D, because then when there's the listening, I'll take it off. Anyway, so first we have a little text about one of the companies, which is called Waru Nature Tours. Now you will ask me, how do you know that the pronunciation is Waru? Well, the thing is, I didn't know until I heard the name. I heard the name because I've listened to the recording in the book. But remember that in English, you can never be sure of the pronunciation of a word until you've heard it. Okay? Never assume that the pronunciation is what you think. Always check, especially with place names and people's names. Okay, so Waru Nature Tours. Waru Nature Tours have been an established company based in Queenstown for 15 years. Okay, so here's the first question. Where is Waru Nature Tours? Where is it? As you can see, it's based in Queenstown. Do you know where Queenstown is? If you look at the book, you can figure out which country we're talking about. Yes, it's New Zealand. There's a little box at the top where it tells you the population, the capital, and the area, which is or a little bit more than 500,000 square kilometers, kilómetros cuadrados. Okay, so let's continue. Have a good look at the rest of the text A, and then I will ask you some questions. Maybe press pause as I usually ask you to do. Okay, so some questions. Which word in the text means desafío? Yes, it's around the middle. It's challenge, un reto, un desafío. Now the next question is, where can you go whitewater rafting? You can go whitewater rafting in a river or on a river, okay? And why do we say white water? Any idea? White water because the water is wild, and so there is a lot of white foam. White gives you the idea of wild water, agua salvaje. Now here it talks about we specialize in team building activities. Do you know what that means? What are team building activities? Well, to answer that question, we need to remember that in English we must always translate backwards when we have a sequence of names. So that would be actividades para la construcción de equipo. So actividades para formar equipo. This is very good for companies when they send their employees there, and the idea is that the employees should develop a feeling of union. Okay, this is good for the company because then they work better. And the last question is, what are repeat customers? I think you know that. Repeat customers are customers that repeat, customers that come back next year because they liked it very much. Now, there are some questions here in the book, but I will let you deal with that. Okay? So let's have a look at Manu Adventures. That's text B. Have a minute to take a good look. Press pause again. And here we go. First question, what is bungee jumping? Now, bungee jumping, bungee refers to a kind of rope that's una cuerda elástica, and you attach it to a height, for example, a high place. For example, it could be ideally a bridge, and you jump from there, and the bungee, the rope, stops you from hitting the ground. It's very important to measure the length of the rope and the distance from the top of the bridge to the ground if you want to stay alive. Now, another question, what is skydiving? Diving, if you remember, one of the meanings is jumping into water head first. Well, here it refers to jumping into air head first. So skydiving, diving, jumping from a plane. And the next question, what is hot air ballooning? So a balloon is like a ball, a big ball full of air, from which hangs a basket, and people stand in the basket, and this ball of air flies, and that is hot air ballooning. It's called hot air because the air has to be hot, so it will go up. That's why there is gas fire keeping the air hot. All right, and the last question, what is the word that means historial in B? Did you find it? It's the record. We also have, line 5, we also have an excellent safety record. A very good historial, and no one has got killed. All right, so that's the first page. All right, but before anything, I will ask you for the study guide to look at the photos on the page, and I will ask you to label them, ponerles una etiqueta with the name of the activity. We have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4 pictures showing activities. You should know the name of each of the activities by reading this page and also doing the listening on the next page. Okay, right, we are now, I think, 1 second, yes, we're going to do a listening. So I'm going to stop this so I can show you the questions. Okay, so in a minute, I'll play you the recording. This is for 7.6. There are some questions in the book, but you are to ignore them. Just answer these questions that you can see on the screen. This is what questions you will need to answer when you do the study guide. As you can see, there are 3 parts. In part 1, you answer questions A, B, C, D. In part 2, for E, you need to draw a picture of somebody scuba diving. They explain what it is, okay? F is true or false. And the third part includes 4 questions, as you can see, G to H, okay? So let's have a listen now.
Unit 7, page 67, Exercise 3. 1.
We like the people at Wurroo. Your staff are really helpful and friendly, but we'd like to do something more adventurous this year. So we're thinking of booking with Manu Adventures. They can offer us bungee jumping, flight seeing, and hot air ballooning. I mean, we can go tramping and mountain biking any time. Wurroo's activities are a bit too easy and a bit boring, to be honest.
OK, thank you. Could you tell me, is your group interested in water sports like jet boating and surfing?
Surfing? That's a mix of water skiing and surfing, isn't it?
Yes, it's very popular on rivers.
It sounds fun, but we don't want anything too expensive. We need to be realistic about costs.
Yes. I see Manu Adventures charge high prices for their packages.
Yes, but they include a lot of different activities.
2.
The equipment was fine for the activities, but why don't you offer more extreme water sports like jet boating and surfing?
That's a good idea. What about scuba diving?
Scuba diving?
It's like scuba diving, but the divers breathe through a long tube, which is connected to a scuba oxygen tank. There is no heavy diving equipment, and you are never far from the boat with the oxygen.
Sounds interesting. Do you need to be very sporty to do it?
Not especially. It's great for beginners and older people. Was there anything else you'd like to tell us?
Just that we'd like to try jet boating, surfing and scuba diving next time. And I think you should have discounts for large groups.
Discounts for groups. I see. Well, thanks very much for your feedback.
3.
Some of the equipment was old and not safe. And although our instructor was really friendly and a great person, he wasn't very enthusiastic. I think you need some younger, more energetic staff.
Oh, okay. Anything else?
Yes, you should offer more exciting activities like glacier trekking, flight seeing, or jet boating.
I see.
And your price list doesn't include the additional insurance for some of the activities, like for whitewater rafting. It's not good to find out about things at the last minute. You should clearly mark extra charges in your prices.
That's been very helpful. Thanks.
So, did that go all right? Remember, you can always check the scripts for the recording, which is on page 125, 7.6. But I strongly advise you to do the listening, not go straight to the script, because this is a listening exercise to train you to listen carefully and well. Okay? So, this will be it for the listening. Now, before we finish with the unit, there's one more activity which you will have to do on your own. You will need to choose some of the activities from the list in exercise 4, the task. Choose some of the activities there. Decide what will be attractive and different about those activities. And then the idea is to create a package for Ibiza and or Formentera, okay, with the activities that you have chosen. So as I say, you will need to decide what is attractive and different about these activities. You will have to think of a name for the tour and a price for the package. And then you will need to write a general description for the website, just like the one on page 66, real nice and short. Okay? And like on 67 as well. Anyway, the instructions will be in the study guide. Okay, so we're going to finish here. And let me see, just a couple of things. Remember, yes, some of the study guide for Unit 7 will be in the form of Google Forms, in the form of a quiz, of a test, which you will need to complete and send me, and you will get immediate feedback, because I do have to teach you and you do have to learn to answer the Google Forms correctly so that I can mark you properly. Okay, so that's one thing. Another thing, remember, this Thursday the 30th, is the deadline for study guide for Unit 6, and also is the deadline for the oral assignment for Group T. Okay, I remind you to it's a good idea to ask me, to write to me for feedback on anything you want, on your writings, on your oral presentations, any doubts, anything you may have. And I remind you also that I welcome any feedback on the videos, which, as I know, fortunately, are getting better and better, aren't they? Thank you very much. See you soon. Bye bye.